everybody, and welcome back to another episode of A Quiet Place for Friends, QPF, if you will. Today, we're going to be talking about loneliness. I am your host, I'm Max, and we also have Sino here. Say hello, little buddy.
Hi guys, hope you guys are doing fantastically.
And we have a special guest with us.
What's up, bro?
We got Gailey in the weed, or Elvis in the house. And so, yeah, this is our first time having another guest on the podcast. So thank you so much for coming along, man. It means a lot to us.
Popping that cherry big time. Nice.
Yeah. And so, well, yeah, as Max said, we're talking about loneliness, and I guess we're all going to kind of give our opinions on it and whatnot and the kind of notions of that. So how about you go first? We'll give it to the guest. How about you go first, Elvis? I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay. Well, I think for me, I kind of like being alone. At least that's just kind of like how I do it. Just because I only need like one person in my life that's like my best friend, and that for me that's my wife. And she's like my best friend too. So for me, I only really need like video games, my wife, movies, YouTube. Like, I don't really need that much social interaction personally. And it like, honestly, it gets to the point where she wants to go out and do things and I don't. And I'm just the type of guy that likes to sit at home. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers are like that though.
And I feel like the thing is that like I'd like to say that everyone either watching this podcast or is in this call right now are people that usually are more private and like have a few very intimate relationships with people in our lives, rather than having a bunch of just randoms or acquaintances that which we'll have parties with. But the thing is that on that topic is that me being someone that, recently coming out of, high school and everything and uni and whatever, it's just, the thing is that, whilst I am a person that likes to have a lot of privacy, and whilst my personality, for example, I have no taste, even as something as simple as music taste can affect so much, because it's like when you go to a party, for example, and say music's playing that you just have no interest in, and everyone's kind of getting along to it, and even then it's like you're kind of alone in that sense. So it becomes really, really crazy how something so simple can affect whether or not you kind of belong to a group or not. Yeah. And the thing is that whilst I would rather, as I am, to be in privacy, I can't help but at times, and I think we can all agree with this, but at times we just can't help but feel like we want to conform to other people's ideas and stuff. And
I'm same with Elvis here. All I need is like Twigs and my YouTube channel, because all of that makes up for all of my social interactions, and I am more than thankful for that. But before I had Twigs or my YouTube channel, I didn't have any friends, because all my friends after high school, they went to college or did their own thing, and I went out to the army, and then once I came back, I was like, I didn't have anyone here, so it's kind of I do like alone time, of course, but having the absence of having anyone there with you was debilitating, and I think basically that's where I'm at.
I agree though. I agree. Like, before I was married, I felt the same way. Like most of the time, probably like 90% of the time, I did my own thing, and when people ask me to hang out, I'd usually say no, just because I'm kind of a shut-in. But then again, like every once in a while, I would go crazy, like because I would
pingers for days.
Yeah, because being alone all the time, like, it takes a toll.
It does. It really does. Yeah. And the thing is, like, I think what's great is that anyone that is kind of alone, it's like once you have a relationship with someone, like my girlfriend that I've been with for over a year, it's like it really makes a difference. And at the end of the day, you really all you need is just someone that loves you. It's just some good video games, as Elvis said, and
Yeah.
just a few close friends and family. But yeah, I guess to an extent, like, at least for me, I sometimes, although, like, because, say, I play a lot of, like, classical music, and so my taste is more so in that kind of field. So, as I was saying, kind of with music and stuff, it's like, I feel like I'm a 60-year-old guy in, like, the body of a young 20-year-old. So, like, it's kind of this, I feel like I don't really fit into my kind of generation and stuff, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that can be kind of a problem at times. I'm sorry if you can hear something outside. That's like my dad being quite
Yeah. What the fuck,
loud.
man? Joking. No,
Oh,
I think
Jesus.
it's different. It's different for YouTubers, though. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're a YouTuber, then you have like a bunch of people that listen to you. You know.
Yeah.
And but I think it's different for people who want to be YouTubers, and I think this is a big reason why people strive to be a YouTuber in the first place, is because most of us find it at least a little bit difficult to make like powerful relationships in person, whereas
Yeah.
like online it's much easier, and it's you know, if you don't want to talk to someone, you're not forced to. You know,
Yeah.
it's just it's much easier.
It's kind of like a one-way communication where you don't have to
Yeah.
worry directly what the audience or whoever you're talking to is going to think.
Yeah. There's also the
Yeah.
other side of the spectrum too, where like,
Yeah, I was going to say that actually.
yeah, I mean, you can get a lot of hate on YouTube too, and that can take a toll as well. I mean,
And
yeah.
especially if you're like a YouTuber like at Leafy's level, when you're spending every single day 5 hours like making a video at least, right? That's a lot of time by yourself.
yeah.
And so I've found personally, like, sometimes I'll really want to, for example, make a video or get a video out, but it's my duty and my responsibility as like a boyfriend or whatever to take care of my girlfriend and stuff. And so then what that does is then I'm in this weird kind of loophole where like I'm trying to make content and then I have to do what I need to do to make sure that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of this back and forth motion, but yeah.
How is it working out with you, Max? Like, as far as your relationship with Twigs, you guys like?
Yeah,
No.
because it's long distance as hell.
It is.
It's like Tasmania she lives in and you live in Dallas?
That is correct.
Oh my goodness.
It is going awesome though. Thank you for I just got done. Well, not even done talking to her. I just put her on hold. We just
And
we
the
were
time
asleep.
zones especially, because she has my time zone basically, because she's
Yeah.
really near Australia. So basically for her it's about 12 p.m. in the afternoon. For you it's probably 9 at night. So
That is correct.
that's ridiculous. Jesus. Oh my
Sorry.
gosh. Speaking of, I know we're kind of like striving off loneliness and everything, but on the topic of, I kind of also have a long distance relationship with my girlfriend. She lives like the other side of town, and her parents still at this time, after a year, don't know that we've been going out, which is
What the fuck?
because her parents just aren't really comfortable at this time for her to have kind of a relationship.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. It's different culture or whatever, and obviously they're nice people and things. But she's had to, for like this whole year, she's had to kind of lie to them to be able to see me, or secretly make things up when they're asking, "Where are you going?" And she says, "Oh, I'm just going bowling." So
By
yeah.
myself.
by myself. Yeah. But I feel like, yeah, to sum that point up, it's like when you have someone that loves you, then it's like,
Yeah.
it takes away such a huge weight on your shoulder when it comes to loneliness, because you always have someone that has your back. I feel like when you don't have anyone in that way, you always have this paranoia that someone that you think you can rely on will backstab you, or someone will never always have your back and stuff. But I feel like that's huge security when you have a relationship like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys find it difficult to have like? Sorry, my dogs are barking.
Oh, good.
It's all right.
If it's like a long distance, do you guys ever find?
Oh, yeah.
like- yeah.
It's tiring. It's pretty difficult. Like, I can only, like, the last time I saw my girlfriend was probably like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But we communicate tons, like every single day, every hour, just like online and stuff, and we FaceTime a lot. So, I mean, Max even has it harder than me, but like, yeah, it can be quite
for me
quite
personally. I don't mind it being so long distance because beforehand it was even harder just because I didn't have her there. And just having her there is more than enough to keep me happy. Obviously, I do want to see her, and we do plan on doing that. But I mean, I guess I'm just extremely patient because I see no problem with long distance relationships.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I kind of envy you in some aspects because right now, me and my wife live in like this really small room. And it can get like super overbearing sometimes, like trying to find times for me to record, or like right now she's sleeping like right next to me, but she's like a super heavy sleeper, so it's fine. But like, yeah, it's it gets hard sometimes because like I have to work around her work schedule and yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
No. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sane. So.
All right, there you go.
And
it's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
How'd you?
No, you go.
I was just gonna it just felt like we were talking more about relationships.
I was gonna say, I was like, okay, so let's.
Yeah, I was afraid the fans were gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know,
all bragging about the people they're with.
You do such a good impression of that. Oh my god.
Sorry. But yeah, it is for on the topic of loneliness. It is something I've had to live with for 18 years of my life because Twigs is my first girlfriend, and my YouTube channel is like the very first place that I've actually made real relationships. School was good, you know, and I did have good friends back then, but it was nothing like what it is now, because now people listen to me. Now people like think I'm funny, which people did think in school sometimes, but on YouTube it just feels like I don't want to like sound braggy or anything, but on YouTube it feels like you have it just feels like you have the power in the relationship because you are the one people come to, you know.
A huge thing is that like I feel like as YouTubers that we completely... It comes to a point where I don't think... How do I say this? The bigger we get, inevitably, it becomes more and more that we just kind of become just tame to all of the nice comments, to all of the friendly things that people say and whatnot. And the thing is that I feel like a huge wake-up call whenever I go on a Discord, whether it be like Colossal's or yours, Elvis, or... who's ever, and you just see these people that just have so many things in common with you and like so many topics that you can just relate to. And it's just really nice, I guess, to kind of get in touch with that. So for people that do like have kind of suffer with depression, or not depression, but well, that as well, because it is a part of it, but well, loneliness and stuff, even going on something like Discord is crazy. Like I feel like in my case, a lot of people don't kind of have the same kind of interests in me when it comes to YouTube and stuff in this community, but as soon as I hop on a Discord, then it's just I could talk on hours on end about Keemstar with some people in the Discord. So yeah, it's really nice actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Same thing with me as far as like when Max was saying well, I mean, I don't know, I think it's a little different with me. In school I had good friends, but it's always different online because I feel like I can always open up with people better online than I can in person.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. For me, school sucked. It always sucked.
Yes.
Yeah, and making relationships with people just felt so forced, and it
did.
It hardly ever worked out. Yeah,
that is correct.
I only have one friend that I'm still friends with from high school. But no, two, but only one that I'm keeping in contact with. And it's like out of, I probably had like like 100 friends, like I would say quote unquote friends, just because like they're mainly just acquaintances, you know, people that you like talk to and you're friendly with. But only 2 of the people that I knew throughout my entire life growing up have like stayed with me, you know. I mean, you can't expect anybody to, you know, put their life aside to, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. People go their own ways, so.
It's interesting because, like, when I was in high school a lot, I had the feeling like, why do I bother trying to be friends with so many people if at the end of the day, let's be honest, I'm probably going to have 1 or 2 good friends. So then what I would do is just like kind of restrict myself to only having these 1 or 2 good friends, which has its ups and downs. Ups being that obviously you don't have to waste your time on people that, let's be honest, you're probably never ever going to talk to in the rest of your life. But it kind of is on the downside because as humans, it's in our nature or condition to be part of something bigger and to be in a bigger community, something that goes beyond ourselves. And so then whilst at times, yes, it's nice to have these super intimate relationships with 1 or 2 people. I mean, this was just me in high school. I mean, but whilst it's really nice to have those intimate relationships with just a few friends, I feel like, yeah, as I said, at times it was just, I felt like I wanted to conform and kind of be a part of something bigger, even if it's people that I didn't really care about. Just the feeling and of being with a lot of people is kind of nice. But I feel like with YouTube now, it's kind of like that's kind of there. I mean, with thousands of people just saying nice things, it's so nice. And
as far as loneliness goes, if anybody listening to this right now is like really suffering because, you know, you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, or you don't have like that special someone, or you don't feel like you're popular or whatever, like all 3 of us have felt that way, you know, like that shit will pass. Like I've had moments where I've like I'll admit it, like I felt like suicidal almost, you know, and because I feel like nobody cared, like nobody was listening to me, like I had literally no one, you know. So but it's just like you just have to kind of believe. I know it's stupid to say that, like being optimistic sucks because, you know, I know. But you do. You just kind of have to believe that, like, one day, you know, things will change. Because I mean, they did for me. Like they do for so many people. So it's, yeah. You just gotta keep trucking.
A huge thing that kind of a great piece of advice. I might be quite laggy. I'm really sorry if that's the case though. I was talking to my dad once about it, and he was like, you just got to remember there are times in life where you're going to be kind of really depressed or alone or upset, especially alone. But I feel like a great thing, which I kind of always go by through, is that you have to always remember that you are your best friend, if that makes sense, and to always love yourself. And it's really hard to do that, but like, it's important that every day you tell yourself that I'm my best friend and I'm always here for myself and stuff like that. And that's a huge thing. And if you tell yourself, if you say, I don't want to be depressed and whatnot, and I don't want to be upset, it's probably going to happen. But if you tell yourself, I'm going to be happy and I want to be happy, if you kind of go for the positive direction, then it really does help a lot. As someone who's like had quite a lot of loneliness, I mean, maybe not depression, but when it comes to kind of being ostracized in solitude, it takes a huge toll. And I feel like those things really do help. But so that's kind of my input on that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I agree. If you're down in the dumps and you acknowledge that and you just push yourself more down, it's obviously not going to help. But whenever you're like, you keep your chin up, biologically speaking, whenever you keep your chin up, that increases the amount of endorphins you attain.
I actually heard that. It's weird, but it helps.
Yeah, exactly. So both scientifically speaking and metaphorically speaking, keeping your chin up and keeping on going is the way to go. Always have a positive outlook, because whenever you're like, oh, this sucks, my life sucks, everything sucks, that's going to make it even worse. Kind of like people who suffer from cancer, like studies show that those who wallow in their sickness like get more sick, and those who deal with it and just get through their day and do what they want to do at the end of it end up alive.
While this is going to be kind of unrelated but related, I hate FouseyTube so much. I just hate him. I think he's awful. I think he's just crap. But if I have to be honest, if I have to be perfectly honest, I have a lot of I guess envy for the fact that his motivation and the fact that he always tries to stay happy, and he always, whether that's fake or not is completely up to you. But the whole notion that if he wants to do something, he's going to do it. And even if that requires manipulation to the extent of faking children crying, he'll do it. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that, like, he will do whatever he has to do to get wherever he wants. And he tells himself that he's happy and whatnot. And so, in that regard, that's the only piece of respect I have for Fousey. But it's pretty much completely voided to the fact that, you know, the guy goes ahead and manipulates kids. And
no, that's a good point.
Did you see? Yeah.
It's a good point. I mean, you give yourself like this shield against everybody once you are happy with yourself, and you don't, you don't give in to like really harsh opinions of others.
Important that like you talk about it, because it's like depression in the sense that it's just you just can't bottle it up, otherwise it's horrible for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that you always talk about it with, whether even if it's your mum or your dad or a relative or just one close friend or even a teacher or a psychologist or someone at school. It just makes a huge difference. Whether you like doing it or not, it does help. So
yeah, so try it out for yourself, see how it goes, guys.
But it's pretty much that. Is there anything else we really wanted to cover over? There was something I was going to say on the topic of
I just wanted to say that I hate FouseyTube too.
I hate him. Yo, he's awful. I just hope he sits on a cactus.
Oh my god,
awful.
I want to see Colossal's video on him so bad.
He's been making
me
that
too.
for 5 months. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's
I just wanna see
people
what he's
like
dug up, though.
Fousey that make me
Yeah, I
want to
did too.
shit into my hands and then clap. Like,
Yeah.
he's just awful. Oh my god. Oh no. But he's smart. I'll give him that. He's clever. He's very clever.
The fact that FouseyTube made it into this video is kind of irritating.
I'm just angry
because
now.
he's like, I don't know, he's just not someone you should aspire to be at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was something. Oh, I remember the whole thing. He kicked off Leafy's fan on one of his tours.
What?
Didn't you hear about that?
No.
Okay, so Fousey and Robin Atwood are on this tour apparently, and so then they were at one of their shows, and then like some 10-year-old kid rocks up, and then says Leafy is here, and Fousey just kicks him off the stage completely.
What the fuck? Wait, he just said Leafy is here?
Well, apparently what happened, you can watch up the video, just look it up online, just look up Fousey gets angry with a Leafy fan, and what happens is that this kid is saying that he doesn't like Fousey's channel, and then Fousey says, every time you say that it hurts me, and then he's like, yeah, and then he says, wouldn't you hate that if I said that to one of your friends? He says, yes, and then he says, so could we make up and we can have a hug and you can walk off stage? He's like, yeah, sure. So then another kid walks on, and then just after all that, he says, Leafy is here, and then Fousey's like, that's not cool, get him off stage. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
You got to talk about that on Hot Wet Soup, because that's just one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just hearing about
hilarious.
that. That's funny.
Oh my god. But yeah, so as we said for loneliness, it's all about just communicating, talking to people about it, and going ahead and like, even as I said, like Discord chats makes a huge difference. Just there's always going to be people, and a point that we stress is that there are people that are doing worse off than you. No matter how low you think you are in the dumps, someone is getting it worse. So, and the thing is that everyone in this comment section has your back, because everyone is here because they suffer from maybe loneliness, or they've had depressions in their life. So just understand that, especially we're all here for you. So you guys are never alone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
when
always
like
with
you
people.
don't have your parent, you can't talk to your parents, because for me that was the ordeal. I felt like I couldn't talk to my parents. I couldn't talk to people at school. I didn't want to talk to my counselor or teachers. I didn't want to talk to a therapist or a psychiatrist. I didn't want to talk to any of those guys. I felt like I couldn't talk to my friends. You can always just come online and come here, come to the comment sections, come to
Come to a quiet place for friends.
yeah, you can just come around here, and there will be people who feel the same way. So this will be your place to come to if you ever wanna. And that's kind of like something I emphasize on my channel. Like you'll even see
Welcome
the banner
home.
art set. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I like to do with my channel and my Discord. Like I want to make it like a safe, not like a safe haven. I don't want to say safe haven because I'm not an SJW retard, but like just a place where you can come to and talk to people who feel for you. You know.
That's
Yeah.
something I always liked about your channel. It has always come across to me as like a family rather than like, oh, just a channel with a YouTuber and subscribers. You know what I mean? Like I always thought that was pretty neat.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, man.
Yeah.
Especially
that's
in
what
like
I'm
the
going
live
for.
streams and stuff, it's like everyone's just treated as, a movement or something bigger.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Like one new guy was trying to spam. He's like, everyone spam ass, and then no one was spamming ass, and then some guy just responded to him, yeah, we don't do that here, buddy.
Oh,
'Cause-
absolutely beautiful.
We don't do that
Yeah.
here.
Just the level of
That's
maturity
sick.
is great.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Then there's my channel. That's leafy videos left, right, and center. But you know what? Whatever jerks the gherkin, whatever tickles the pickle. But that's pretty much all we have to say. I think that was a pretty nicely wrapped up. Is there anything anyone wants to say before we
I have one last thing to say.
Go
for
for
it.
it, man.
subscribe to Elvis?
Yeah, subscribe to my channel. Shameless plug. No.
Is that actually what? Okay.
No. I was gonna. I think that's actually what I was gonna say. You kidding me? No. So basically, if you are suffering from loneliness, like the main thing that you can do to combat that is to find like-minded people.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's online or in person, it can be much harder because you never will know what people think. But on the internet, it's a lot easier to find people that think the same way you do because people are way more likely to open up on the internet. So
Yeah.
use
that's
it as a
exactly
tool.
kind of like-
Yeah.
4chan, as bad as it is and as horrible as it is and how shit can come out of that shithole, it's a place where people go in terms of trying to discuss loneliness and depression and those kinds of things, and that's one of the only things I like about 4chan.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much for coming along, Elvis. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks, man.
It's been great. Anything you want to say, Max?
We should probably start doing like Twitter questions and stuff, because I know there may be
Yeah.
aspects of loneliness we miss on, or anything
Yeah.
that someone
Mhm.
deals with. So
We'll definitely
next
do
time
that.
we do something like this, I really want to get some viewer
Questions.
participation, and I
Sure.
think that would be good for everyone all around.
Awesome.
I'd like to say that thanks for having me on, guys. Like this has been pretty. This has been
You're so welcome.
this has been chill. A lot more relaxed than my podcast for sure.
Oh. Well, at least it's not baited, where it's a screaming match.
Oh
all
my
the time.
god, hell no!
That's
Like
just-
how can fucking Colossal handle
Colossal
that?
walks out of that podcast with
You know
his
what I mean?
lifespan shortened by
Like-
at least 3 years.
It just he even said so. Like I don't know if it was in his Discord or whatever, but he said that like every time he's like about to go on, he like braces himself because because Keemstar is just such such a
baby.
Yeah.
no, he's just like
Man-child.
a really like fucking I don't know what the
He's a
word is,
child.
but
Ignoramus.
He's just childish. I mean, that one time he was just ranting and just blah blah blah. He was blocking out Tommy's words
Yeah.
or something. That just made me cut. I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. I just can't.
He's just so abrasive. That's the word.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go.
Yeah, he comes on so strong that it's like whenever you talk to him, it's like you're talking to your dad or something.
And the only reason we're watching that podcast is because Colossal and Tommy's there. Let's be honest.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I think we'll can it there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on SoundCloud. Check out Elvis's channel, link in the description below, and feel free to comment, and please reply to each other's comments. We implore that kind of positive and behavior that displays contrition. So thank you so much. When we're signing off, thank you guys for joining us today. And bye.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Subscribe to me, Elvis.